I've already actually covered this issue before. Because the last time when I watched a German program, I've already touched it up on the ground by covering all the bases relevant to the issue. Because an aluminum wrapper and aluminum folio would be extremely vulnerable to secreting, chemical toxins, which could actually be the number one cause for Alzheimer's and dementia. Any type of memory loss can be triggered if you constantly actually use aluminum folio and foil to wrap around in salty, sandwiches or sausages, because there is a salty molecules. They're likely to the sodium molecules per se, and natrium. Sodium molecules would actually, eventually activate this aluminum by coming into contact with the wrapper. Then it would actually unleash enormous, chemical toxins that could actually accumulate aluminum in your nerve system to even damage the body of yours. Just like the deodorant. If you ever actually rolled a deodorant during the summertime with no thinking, then this could be the source of Alzheimer. Alzheimer's disease is extremely correlated to the accumulation of aluminum. Yeah, you can actually say aluminum and aluminum. Both are fine. I just actually checked the dictionary before even I actually had it done. Then I remember what this, beautiful British lady, Candace actually told me many years ago. Aluminum, aluminum, right? So I've actually covered the it's also fine. Aluminum. She said in British, aluminum. Yeah. But the thing is, stay away from them. Especially as, avoid wrapping your food around. Especially contain any salty substance or ingredients in it. It should actually be a big no-no. It's a taboo. And do not try to actually, cover up your armpit with the deodorant. That would actually be the source of aluminum to actually, have your nerve system completely damaged. Who knows, right? If you actually live more than the 70s, you get to know that who's, telling the truth. I'm not really a buyer of this type of popular science with blind trust, right? Because that's exactly what happened to with the sweetener, right? You remember the saccharin, the sweetener once upon a time was the public enemy number one as a culprit of the bladder cancer, but turned out to be it was a really benign. It was not at all nefarious or malignant and obnoxious to hurt our health. But it was actually once upon a time defamed as, number one bladder cancer culprit. Have you remembered this before? Have you heard about this before? Have you remembered that? Yeah, no, I'm not lying. I really remember that. If you ever actually had a saccharin, this was once upon a time briefly in the 1970s in the America, was a favorite as an alternative to natural sugar. Now, I'm not really so sure. You can actually have a different type of sweeteners. Yeah, I know. Or else can I say? It's really kind of annoying. People actually had such an devaluation of my understanding because I don't really know how to say many things in Korean, but that doesn't mean I really actually have any idea how this work should be done. It's really kind of ridiculous. It's not contradictory at all. How would I ever actually say this in English if I were truly a non to these many events in English? Because right now the inputs were written in German. And technically, unlike French, there exists no lesser similarity physically. It means, you have to understand German first, and you have to actually turn it around and switch it around in English, which actually, is likely to have less resemblance with German physically. Physically, I mean, at first glance, they're really quite different, right? German words, I mean. Who knows? I'm not really bragging about it, but I don't really appreciate your, ignorance and underestimation, which eventually, debilitates and even devastates my performance. I don't really need it.